everyone, welcome to the Voice of Charon Healing Podcast. I am Almighty Servant Charon, here to let you know you are power, you are light, you are loved.
Hi everybody, I love you. You guys, this episode is going to be about love. Now, there are so many versions of love. There's true love, there's self-love, there's universal love, there's God love, there's just so many forms of love, okay? So I was moved to speak to you guys right now about love because I started creating a journal, a self-love journal, you guys. And in this journal, I was writing an intro page for people about love, you know, what love is. And it was just supposed to be like maybe a couple of paragraphs, one little intro thing on the first page of this journal. And as I was writing, it turned out to be like 3 pages, and then I had to leave, so I had to stop. But there was so much more to come out. So in reality, I have begun to write a book about a certain aspect of love, okay? Now, I am going to be writing a book about true love one day because I will be receiving my true love kingdom spouse. And when I do receive my true love kingdom spouse, I'm going to share with you guys how to receive your true love kingdom spouse if you haven't already, okay? It's a labyrinth of a journey. However, back to this new book that I started to write about love. As I was sitting here now before I go to sleep and thinking about it, I started to think about God's favorites, okay? We all want love, but are we love? We all want love, but are we love to receive love? Do we love ourselves completely, truly? It's really cool what's been coming out in the first part of this book that I guess I have just began. So as I was sitting here about to go to sleep, I started to think about God's favorites, okay? And people like to say, yeah, we're all God's favorites and we all should be, you know, in alignment for whatever we all should receive. We're all God's favorites. But actually, we are all God's favorites. But we all are not worthy of certain things when it comes to favoritism. Okay? Does that make any sense? Probably not. So if it didn't make sense to you, we all are not in alignment to win that award. God will have a favorite for certain situations based on what people have put into things. Does that make sense? Okay. We love to say that we're all God's favorites, but we really literally have to put in the work into ourselves, the work into becoming the best version of ourselves that we can, the work into not being so selfish, the work into being aware of our surroundings, the work into appreciating life, the work into truly connecting to, appreciating, and having a true relationship with God, okay? Now, some of you guys in your heads right now are thinking, no, we're all God's favorites. We're all God's favorites. We don't have to put in works to be God's favorite. We're all God's favorite. Yes, we are all God's favorite, okay? Some of us are God's favorites because we're so toxic that we do the toxic bullshit that triggers an anointed person to rise higher into their higher selves. So you're like a little pawn, a little tool. You're God's favorite little trickster, but not God's favorite to receive something of righteousness that you might want, something of a higher vibration that you might want. You aren't God's favorite in terms to that. I'm not just speaking about you. Like there are things that are so great that I would like that I don't even know exist. There are so many beautiful things in this world that we aren't in alignment with because we haven't put in the works for those things. Okay. So we do have to put in works for certain things. And if you do not agree with me, I will give you an analogy, okay? A marathon worker. Do you truly think that a marathon worker who puts in the work every single day for how many months or how many years, however long it is that they take to train to run a marathon, do you think that compared to that, if you as so-called God's favorites, entitled to think that you're God's favorites and you should have just because you are and you're alive and you're a child of God, so you should be God's favorite. Do you really believe that you, after going to the club or after partying with your friends, after staying up and watching movies, after eating whatever you want, after being lazy, after being a couch potato, after not stepping one foot into the gym, after not taking one walk on the street, let alone jogging, do you think that if you wake up one day and say, you know what, I want to run a marathon and I should win because I'm God's favorite, God, please let me win, and you haven't put any work, that God will favor you as a favorite to win against someone who woke up early every day for months or years to train for this marathon, who was tired beyond tired, who cried, whose muscles were so sore, but they still got up. And when they got up, they had to pray to God for the strength to practice on that day, who cried tears, who sacrificed, who didn't eat that pizza, who wasn't a couch potato, who put in the work. Even when they didn't have any strength to put in the work, they still got in and did something to strive, to put the work in, to run that marathon, to win that marathon. Do you truly believe that you, if you put no work in for the marathon and then one day decided that you want to wake up and run a marathon, that God would favor you as a favorite over the person and the people that have put in the work and prayed and cried and strove to become a better runner, to become healthier, to become fit enough to compete in that sort of competition? Do you really think that you can make it to the end? You understand clearly, I feel it. And for those who are still trying to hold on to, well, God can do anything and God can, yes, God can. God can do anything and God can whatever. God can create miracles, but they are for people that have put in the works. Your heart, the vibration of your heart, the intentions of your heart, the beacon of light, either dim or either brighter than bright, that beams from your heart. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work for miracles, to be worthy of miracles. There are people walking this earth, you guys, seeking and trying and reaching to be the best they can be, trying to help others, caring for others, loving for others, having to find a way to love themselves, putting in the work, and they are favorites of God for things that you cannot receive if you are a selfish, lower vibrational being. No, we are not all God's favorites in the same way. Why do I say this? Why am I saying that we are not all God's favorites? You are not God's favorite. You may not be God's favorite for a certain thing. You may not be worthy of a true love if you aren't true love. Why am I saying this? Because we have to be real with ourselves. People are so entitled. We are so entitled and we are so unaware. So it's not like you're just shallow and unentitled. I mean, a lot of people are shallow. You know, if you're shallow, but a lot of people don't know that they're shallow. And then some people are shallow because they're defending and trying to protect their hearts. Some people are shallow because they were taught certain things by their parents and the experiences that they go in life. So some shallowness is not like a vain shallowness. Some is just shallowness because the shallowness is what they were taught is life and they aren't even aware that it's shallowness. But either way, it's still shallowness. So with that viewpoint of shallowness, some of us, to help Earth, to help Mother Earth, to help the cosmos, to help God, to help raise a vibration of true love on Earth, we have to really stop and look at ourselves. our vain selves, our shallow selves. And it's very clear if you stop and take a moment to think, we have to look at that and we have to say, how can we be of service to earth? Don't even think about the world. How can we be of service to earth? And in that, your heart will purify more. In that, your heart will expand. In that, your mindset will expand. In that, your life and the people around you will expand. In that, a lot of people will fall off. In that, a lot of things that you do or have done that you did or did not know was shallow, those things will fall off, and God will see you and God will commend you, and the angels will report back on the works that you have put in to become a greater person. We have to put in the works. I know for a fact I've been through hell and back. I know for a fact a lot of you have been through hell and back. I also know for a fact that a lot of you have been hell and don't choose to come back. So when we try to tap onto these things like, yeah, I'm grace and highly favored. Yeah, I'm one of God's favorites. Are you really? And how much of a favorite are you? No judgment. I'm still trying to cleanse myself. But when we're seeking these things and we're wondering why we aren't receiving these things, it's very important that we tap into ourselves and say, what do I need to change about me? What do I need to cleanse? What do I need to heal? What do I need to purify about me so I can be in alignment to receive the things that I want, the peace, the love, the joy. And we all want it, no matter how evil you are. You truly want inner peace. You truly want safety for yourself. You truly want love. Some of us are too petrified to receive it. Some of us are too afraid to receive it. So we take comfort in false egos. We take comfort in vanity. We take comfort in covering ourselves and presenting ourselves with all of these shallow things so the world will accept us when they really don't accept us. They're just appreciating and liking the shallow things that are on you. But when those things are gone, do they love you? Do they care for you? Are you connected? Did you connect to them? Do they know you? Do they feel you? Do they understand you? Do they care for you? Do you care for yourself? Before anybody else can care for you, we have to care for ourselves. And part of caring for ourselves and truly loving ourselves is seeing how we are shallow, where we are shallow, and how we can strive to be a better person and see things beyond ourselves. I think that's the end of this message. And there wasn't really a positive light at the end. But we are all trying to find our way. We are all trying to become better people. And no matter how amazing you think you are right now, no matter how amazing or how proud I may be of where I am right now, I am nothing compared to God. Without God, I am nothing. I know nothing. I have achieved nothing. I'm a messenger right now. Yes, I am everything. I'm spectacular. I am magnificent. Don't get it wrong. I am everything. Yet at the same time, I haven't even tapped into any of the greatness that the capability of greatness is that can be. I have so much to explore, to expand, to heal, to ascend. We are never finished healing, you guys. We are never finished healing. There is always something hidden within inside of us that happened at some point that we may or may not be aware of that is preventing us from being our highest self. Okay. We can ascend higher. We can go into a higher vibration, but achieving that highest self, achieving that self that's so free and able to actually sit with God when we leave these flesh suits that we're in. Like, on earth, we don't achieve that here on earth. There's always something to fix, always something to tweak. And even when we get to a point of the highest point, something else in life will come at us, will happen to us. We will experience something else in life. We are always experiencing something in life that has us have to balance ourselves out again. Okay? So don't feel like you've done nothing, or you are nothing, or it's too hard to accomplish, being great or being a favorite in certain things. Like, we all have our own special gift, and we're all ascended higher in certain, I'll say, niches in life than someone else. Like, someone might be so high in the favorite for the marathon, but they might not be high in favorite when it comes to the scholarship for medical school. You see, we all have our own special gift. But certain things that we pray for, when you pray for a certain niche, if it's true love with another person, if it's true love of yourself, if it's whatever, you really have to tap into those things and put in the works for those things, and not think that just because you decide you want true love, that you're going to receive it because you woke up. You have to be of service to the vibration of love on earth. You have to be of service to yourself. You have to be of service to your inner child. You have to be of service to love. It's a labyrinth, this world we live in, you guys. But I want you to know that no matter where you are in life, in your journey today, that you are truly doing absolutely amazing, okay? Even if you feel like your face is in the dirt and you're at the lowest of the low, you truly are doing amazing, simply from waking up and tapping and accepting that maybe you can do something and strive to fix something within yourself to become a greater person. We all need love. Some of us are afraid of love. We all need love, and we all deserve love, but we do sometimes have to put in the works to receive a higher level of love, if we're seeking a higher level of love than we have experienced before, okay? I hope that made sense. If not, it was the message. I love you, love yourself, love everyone. Almighty Servant Charon, out.
I am the voice of Charon, an almighty servant of God, okay? I love you, love yourself, love everyone. You are power, you are light, you are loved. Make sure you subscribe to the Voice of Charon Healing Podcast, where I speak about any and everything as soon as it comes to my heart. You are power, you are light, you are loved.
This episode is sponsored by Fearless Glory Publishing. Take the first step towards a life of true forgiveness and love with our best-selling book, It All Comes Up to Love, How to Truly Forgive via God's Source, Our Creator. Order your copy today at ebook.almightyservant.com.